Hello, everybody. Today we've got on the Subjunior 2024 Women's Ranking Show. We are going to rank our top 10 Subjuniors from this year. We're going to talk about their performances and all their accolades and achievements they've done. We've got some new guests on for this one, so I'll have you all introduce yourself. We'll start with Lily. You go first.
Hi, I'm Lily Rubenstein. I am a Team USA junior lifter. Is there anything else I need to
That's
say for
good.
that? Okay, cool.
Okay, next up, Eleni, go.
Hello, everyone. I am Eleni Guerrera, and I was on Team USA as a sub junior 57 this year.
Okay, Esperanza.
Hi, my name is Esperanza Delgado, and I'm a 76 sub-junior. Um, I'm on Team USA as well.
Elliot.
I've already been on the last two, but I'm Elliot. I was the 74 sub junior for Team USA this year. Uh, I'm excited to rank some more and actually have like a prepared list this time.
Okay, so sounds good. Everyone's ready. I think this will actually be, honestly, to me, this might be one of the most interesting lists of all the ones we're going to make, just because it's a range of like people that like everyone's going to know. I think like let's say half my list, everyone watching this will most probably know, and then half my list, I can't even find an Instagram for. So we'll yeah, it'll be good. I'm sure once we post this, I'll get some responses and people will link me to their Instagram if it exists. So it'll be fun. Okay, so we'll start. I'll start. Um, so at number 10, I have Brooke Nagel, Team USA member. So she is a 63 kilo sub junior. She won sub junior worlds this year with a total of it was 438 kilos, which also was the world record total. So wins the world championships. That's awesome. World record total, awesome. Um, I believe this is her first year internationally. But yeah, she's an extremely strong lifter, and she's going to be in the juniors next year. I think most of this list, I believe, is in their last year of the sub juniors. We'll talk later about the ones who aren't, but that is my number 10. Aleni, let's go to you next.
Okay, so I really apologize if I say any of these people's names wrong because obviously from all over. So I have Jordina Tojaya. I don't know. She's from New Zealand. I watched her at Worlds this year. She has another year as a sub junior. So there's a bunch of people I put on my list that are probably a bit younger. And just because I was necessarily impressed with like how young they were and able to keep up with the other sub juniors. She won the 84 cl plus sub junior class this year. I don't think she got any world records because I'm pretty sure Luella Bowden from last year has pushed those very, very far, but nonetheless, a very impressive lifter.
Okay, that is a good one. And everyone, we're all not going to be able to pronounce Bill's name, so you can just try
Yeah.
again because I
This is
have,
hard. This
I
is
have,
a lot harder than the
Yeah.
men's.
yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Like, no clue. So we'll just try your best, and that's okay. Esperanza, who do you have for your number
Um,
10?
I had Rebecca Renner. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong again. She's an 84 kilo lifter. She competed at the European Worlds this year. She didn't go to the Malta one, but she's from Germany, and I think she set a couple world records there. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But I have her at number 9. But yeah, I like looked for her Instagram. And like that's the thing with like the lifters, a lot of lifters I like try to like see all their stuff. So I had to like watch the YouTube videos of the actual stuff to like see their lifting. But yeah, no, she's really strong, so I have her at 10.
Okay, that's a good one. She was my last cut. I had her at number 11 on my list, so
Oh
I'm glad.
gosh.
It's always good when somebody has them. Also, this way, like at least they for sure get mentioned.
I
Um,
Yes.
feel like I've ranked people higher than you guys have.
Yeah,
I
me
know.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a reason for that.
well, yeah, we'll discuss it later. But like, there are people on my list who didn't compete internationally and like definitely are not going to be as well known. So like
Yeah.
those people like I don't expect to be on everyone's list. Like maybe some people have them, some people won't. But so you said so Rebecca wasn't at Malta this year?
No, I don't think so. I think she was at the European Worlds.
She
Yeah,
was in
she's
Romania
she's
last year.
she definitely was at Euros, I believe. I think she has the world record in the 84s, if I
I
remember correctly, but I am not sure if I'm right about that. But that's
think it
a
was the squat. I think she had
um
the world record squat as well on top of
That
other
sounds
ones, but
right.
I could be wrong.
yeah, that sounds about right. I'm gonna have to check up this while we're going. So okay, Elliot, who do you have at number 10?
I also have Jordina. I'm not gonna take a crack at the last name. She had a top four all-time total. She still has another year in the sub juniors, so I think that's pretty impressive. I mean, she gets dinged a little bit because at Worlds she totaled like 540, but then you go to her comp after. I'm not sure if this is just a local meet or it doesn't come up as like any of the internationals, but she totals 577.5. So like that's a pretty high ranking total. With another year left in the juniors, there's definitely a possibility I think that she could get a all-time world record total for the women's sub juniors, which would be pretty crazy. Because I think that one's been standing for quite some time. Um, yeah, I think like at least a few years, which you don't see records like that stand a lot, especially I feel like in the sub junior divisions where everyone's breaking records all the time, because there's just constantly new lifters and new talent filtering in, especially now. So I think that's why she's my number 10.
Just to mention, so that record was from last year. That was Luella Bowden, the American last year, is the one who set the total record,
Oh,
I believe.
the
Oh no, no,
Yeah,
never
it
mind.
is.
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm
no,
wrong. No, no, I'm wrong. That's how.
yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
it's
say,
Leanne Hewitt. Oh wow. Okay, that is old.
yeah, that's been standing
That's
since like
2016.
2017.
2016. Yeah,
Yeah,
that might be the oldest. You're right. That's got to
yeah,
be
it's
one
like
of the
seven,
oldest.
8 years.
Yeah, that for sub juniors is crazy. And I just checked the way Rebecca. She was at Worlds in Malta this year. She won.
Yeah,
She
she
won
did
the
She was?
five. She
Okay.
did
Yeah, she won
540.
this year. Yeah,
My
she won this year
apologies.
and last year. So she's
Okay,
definitely
cool.
like, yeah, she would be
No,
my
yeah,
number
she's
one
crazy
honorable
strong.
mention. Yeah, for sure. Okay, number 10, Lily. Who do you have at number
Okay, I have Isabel Ugalde. I think that's her name.
That is how you
S-
pronounce it. I actually know that one.
okay, amazing. Thank you. So what stuck out to me was about her was basically every single meet that she has done, she has like steadily progressed every single lift. And also she competes both bench only and full power, which I think is really interesting. And she also came in second at Worlds in Malta this past year up against Brooke Nagel, who had his number 10, right? And she also has another year left in sub junior, so I think she definitely has potential to break those records that Brooke set this year.
Okay, that's a good one. I had her on like my longer list, like before I cut it down, but I'm really not familiar with her at all. So I'm glad someone found her. Okay, so now we will move to number 9. So for number 9, I have Jordina Togia. I don't. That's my attempt to pronounce her. Yeah, so she has one more year in the sub juniors, like you guys mentioned already. She's crazy strong, and she's making a lot of progress. I mean, she did what was it? What did you say? It was, I think it was 540 or something like
540
that.
at Worlds,
Yeah, and then
577.
577 right after that. So she's crazy strong, and the squat sub junior world record will probably be one of the longest standing records, just because Luella is an absolute insane squat. Like I mean, Luella's squat would have been like no joke. I think it would have been like an open world record like 5 years ago. Like
Who squats
she's
6 plates as a sub
yeah,
junior
yeah. I
woman?
mean, like 4 or 5 years ago, Bonica was by far the strongest woman in the world, and like that was what she was doing. Now, of course, obviously we've had like people like, I mean, there's craziness. I mean, the super heavyweights in the opens. I mean, you still have Bonica, you have Alexis Jones, you have Donita, Brittany, like, and then like another 5 have come up in like the last year or two. Like now it's like they're all not all, but like there's like 5 or 6 ladies squatting 600 pounds, which is crazy. But to be doing near that as a sub
Sub
junior, I
junior.
think I think that one's gonna last a while. But in terms of total, like for sure, like when you're making steady progress and you're like still a sub junior, I mean, I think like 17 to 18, like that's a like people make a lot of progress. We'll talk about it later with some people on this list, but like to make that kind of progress is definitely doable. Like I expect her to push into the 600s and break some records and definitely to be on this list again next year. Eleni, who do you have at number 9?
So I have Rebecca Reinhardt. We've said already enough about her, but I'll just add like her squat is so, so impressive. And comparatively to like 84 juniors, I think she's gonna have like some good progression over the next years and become very competitive in the 84 juniors themselves. Because I feel like there's a bunch of lifters that are sub juniors that you kind of see like not to be like that person, but you can kind of see like, okay, like they might burn out or like not progress as well in the juniors. But I feel like she's gonna have a strong start, even though she's just gonna have her first year be next year.
Do we know what like the 84 juniors are doing? Like I'm not really like super familiar. I think the American Layla won the 84 juniors this year, I think. Do we do like
We
what
didn't send her to Worlds, I do not believe.
so like what kind of totals are 84 juniors doing? Like how much of a like jump is it gonna have to be to go from like the sub juniors to the juniors?
Well, comparatively, her squat world record is 200 kilos. And I'd say like the best squats for juniors in the 84s are like 220, 230. So that's
Okay.
fairly close in some like with 5 years, that's fairly reasonable.
Yeah. Right. And Germany, like I would say the burnout is like more common from like a lot of times like the American lifters. I,
Yeah.
I think I think a lot of these European countries, like especially like the high level lifters, like they just progress. Like we see there's so many examples. Like if you look at the record books now and like the juniors and the open, there's a lot of like girls like between like 20 and like 25 that like have been superstars like throughout, like sub junior superstars and juniors now open. Like it's crazy, like the amount. So it's not as common on the American side. A lot of the best Americans are already like in their like upper 20s or 30s, whereas like in the Europeans, like there's so many like I mean, there's a bunch of the best lifters in the world are still juniors in like 3 or 4 weight classes. The number one lifter is a junior. So especially as a European who looks really strong, good squat, already back to back sub junior world champion. So I would definitely say she's gonna have a good time in the junior.
With that world
Okay.
stage experience too, like I just feel like she's had so much experience. Everybody on my list personally, I think has competed either internationally at Worlds or at Euros. Um, just because I feel like that stage has a whole other level of pressure and a whole other effect on your total and your standings. So
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, Esperanza, who do you have for number 9?
I had the same as you. I had Georgina. I'm not gonna pronounce the last name. I'm sorry. Just the 84, and we kind of discussed about her already, but I think she's pretty really strong. And kind of just excited to see how she does moving forward, honestly.
Okay. Elliot, what do you got?
Yeah, my top like 7 rankings shifted around a lot, or 8 rankings really shifted around a lot. So for number 9, I have Esperanza. She's in here as well. She did really good. Had a drop off at Worlds, as we know, some issues with judging. It wasn't necessarily a strength issue, so I give her a little more benefit of the doubt there. Uh, she still put up at nationals like a huge 578, I think it was, dots or something around there. Let me double check or
Whoa.
not 570,
Whoa.
sorry,
578.
four,
It's like I
four,
don't know if that's
four,
right.
478. Oh my gosh, sorry
I was
about
gonna
that.
say if Esperanza got 578
I was
dots,
like,
She might be at the
478,
middle of
right?
the
Yeah,
list.
I'd be like, I don't think that's
478
right.
at
She'd be,
nationals.
she'd be on like Sheffield then.
Yeah.
Bro, I get to watch that type
Oh
beat.
gosh.
But with the 478 dots, a really good thing. Gets dinged a little because of the world's performance. I have no doubt that that'll improve. It was your first worlds, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So like there's not really any surprise there. Like I don't think anyone who went to worlds necessarily lived up to what they expected to put up there. I know I didn't. I think actually pretty much everyone on the men's side underperformed. I can't speak to the women's side, but I know from hanging out with the dudes and talking to them that they were all kind of like pissed. So yeah, Dindy Little, you could definitely be higher on this list. And I don't th if anyone has you higher on this list, I don't think I have any arguments with that. But there's so many people that also had like those high scoring coefficients that they did outside of Worlds that I can't really argue for you to be higher for me personally.
Yeah.
Uh, but I mean, with the I mean, like if we're looking at my top 10, I'm pretty sure pretty much all of them are like over like 460 dots. So it's a pretty tough top 10 to break into, and not to mention you have a considerable gap on number 10.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I appreciate just even being in the list, so that's fine by me. But yeah, no, Worlds was something.
Roll
Worlds
for
was
something.
but just
Throw
the
hands with the judges, bro. Throw hands
Worlds
with
is
the
a whole
judges.
whole
it
crazy
wasn't even
different
just the
thing.
judges, honestly. I think it was just,
Well, you also had a pretty tough competitor who we'll talk about later.
oh yeah, I got her on my list, but yeah,
Kind
she's
of came out of nowhere. We'll talk about her later. Yeah,
Yeah.
came out of
yeah.
nowhere. But something that I just wanted to add, not calling you or Elliot newbies by any regard, but having
I'm
been having
rookie.
the world in 2023 and then comparing that um to 2024, you have to realize, and I'm sure both of you will definitely have a shot at some point again to be on the IPF stage to where you're going to understand this. It's a whole different vibe going a second time. Like last year, I left there so upset with my total, and I think I total PR'd like 5 kilos in 2023 from nationals to worlds, and I was like so incredibly upset with it. And I think this year I gained like half a kilo, and that was like the most proud half a kilo I've ever gained in my life.
Mhm.
um, but it just goes to say like there's so much less pressure the second time around too. Like you know the judging, you know like what it's going to be like. And for me who competed at Bench Worlds too, I knew exactly what that bench depth rule was going to be like. I know Esperanza, I think you got called once or twice on elbow depth.
I
And
got called once on elbow depth, I think, and then the third one I had a dip in the bar.
okay,
But
that
like I
makes
said, it wasn't just completely judging on that. So was it judging on some of it? Sure, but at the end of the day, I should have known, the standards going into that. I've competed at
yeah.
meets before. Yes, it's my first worlds, but there's expectations that have to be met at those types of meets and that sort of level. And so that's really on my behalf and really just kind of competing as a good competitor at a higher level, and that I fell very short of that. So to say it's judging, I wouldn't. I would say that was realistically on my behalf. That was on me. I wouldn't say it was judging.
Yeah. I wouldn't blame judging fully, but for me personally, as someone like who went to Bench Worlds and literally shit the bed and went 1 for 3, like
Yeah.
if I hadn't gone to Bench Worlds, I really think that I could have bombed out in Malta on bench, like genuinely. And so I think that experience really gives you a whole new perspective, and you're like, okay, like this is what I need to be lifting to. Because the reality is, at Powerlifting American Nationals, I went 2 for 3 on bench, and I shouldn't have. I should have bombed out. Like my benching was really high. And
Hmm.
they were judging that not consistent with the IPF judges whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's interesting, right? It's good. It's always good to get like words from you, Lenny, because like you have the experience of like going that first time and then coming back
Certified
that
unk.
second time, which is it's major because like everyone downplays like worlds. Like there's a reason why the world record totals like are often not the heaviest totals. Like there's people will do more at nationals, people will do more at like locals, and it's two reasons. Number one is because when you're at a world meet, like the most important goal is to win. So you're going to do what it takes to win, not to like set a record. Of course, if you set a record, that's great, but winning is most important. But also, like the standards are just really high. Like the judging is strict, and even when sometimes you get white lights, 2 white lights, and then the jury's like, nope, we're going to take that
Yeah.
one away. So it's
Yeah.
like you learn a lot between that first and second time. It also helps when like you have a coach who has the world experience. Like, Esperanza, who's your coach?
Joey.
And Joey there with you or no?
Yeah, he was there with me.
Okay, so that's good though. So you also obviously have an experienced coach which is good to have, which is like, I don't know exactly what you did when you came back from Worlds, but it's good to like have that conversation like afterwards, like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what we learned from this meet, like this is what we'll do going forward, this the changes we'll make. So that's always important because like, of course, you'll be back on the platform and like now you'll have that experience to bring forward to the next time. Okay. Lily, who do you have at number 9?
Okay, I have Cassandre Olivier at 9. And what stuck out to me about her was she competes at such a low body weight, but then she has this insane bench, which I have like, it's so rare to see, like someone who weighs 113 pounds bench 200 pounds. And also, she's only 16, so she has at least one more year left in sub
Okay, I
juniors.
put her way, way high.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
you
too.
did?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess my opinion just sucks then.
No.
Leave.
Yeah.
Leave.
No, but I think her bench, she definitely has like world record breaking potential, especially because she has so much more time left in the sub juniors.
Let me pull up. I'm curious what the world record bench is for the
I think it's like 110. Like I think it's crazy. It was before the elbow depth rule. It's either 102.5 or 110. I might be
no.
switching to 52s or 57s. It's over 100.
For 52s, 110.
It's over 100. I'm
Wait,
telling
that's
you.
insane. Wait, I'm looking it up
Oh my
right now.
gosh, you're right. It's 110.5.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Okay, but if she has 2 years left,
Okay.
who knows? Who knows?
Perspective.
She started sinking though.
That is higher. 110.5 is higher than the 57s record, higher than the 63 record, and half a kilo less than the 69 record.
That's actually the most
crazy.
insane thing I've ever heard.
When was it? What year?
This was done in 2017.
So there
Okay,
you go.
so
Yeah.
before they got us on the elbow depth.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I
want to know.
Yeah,
I want to know actually who here has been like screwed over by the elbow depth rule. Because me personally, yes.
I'm the only
You
one.
guys
who
all-
makes that
Yeah, I mean,
bitch.
yeah, not that it would ever be applicable to me because I'm weak, but also, yeah, I unfortunately have long arms, no heart, so it doesn't apply.
I feel like they call
Unfortunately-
it more on women too.
They definitely do.
It's
Yeah.
pretty tough. I don't think I didn't see many elbow depth calls on the men's side at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get called mainly on like the lightweight lifters just because they're going to have smaller range of motion, right? If you're max grip and you're weighing and you're like a 52, 57, whatever, you're probably going to have less range of motion than like somebody who's like a big weight lifter who has like a medium range, like middle finger on the rings or whatever. So it's definitely, its problem is it's inconsistent. That's my biggest problem with elbow depth is that
It's not
the
consistent at all,
same meet
yeah.
to meet.
Yeah.
Like even within the same meet, like it just depends on which judges are sitting in the box because the judges themselves don't understand it. Like I've watched like videos where like judges are explaining elbow depth and then other judges are arguing, and it's like nobody argues what squat depth is. Like we know what squat depth is, right? We know it's a very clear rule. Like it might be sometimes it's very borderline and it's hard to tell whether it's a good lift or not. But we're not arguing on what the rule is. Whereas here, like it's kind of more complicated.
And like again at Worlds in 2023, I didn't have an issue with elbow depth, and I was benching higher. Literally, I could pull up photos, and I was benching higher in 2023 than I was in 2024. And I got 3 white lights on everything at Worlds in 2023. So I was like gagged when they made it like so much harder in 2024.
Yeah, like at nationals, I went 3 for 3 on bench, and then
at
at
NAPFs.
NAPF, I went 1 for 3, and then the jury overturned my record. So I benched exactly the same. Literally nothing changed.
That's terrible. I mean, the answer is everybody. If you're arching, you just have to think. You have to think because the only way you're gonna hit all of that.
Yeah.
Like just what I would say is like just study Megan Scanlon's bench. Like she has like the perfect elbow depth bench where like she gets that arch and that like low range of motion, but while still getting like white lights for elbow depth.
I reached out to her when I first started sinking.
Oh, yeah, it's
She's
the
the
best
perfect
example.
person.
Yeah. Her and I guess like Agatha. But Agatha's just like freak. It's just like
You
Don't ask her for
can't
advice.
compare.
she's a machine. She's literally just a machine. Like
Yeah.
I mean, she's literally a powerlifting machine. I don't know. she posted on her story like a couple of months back. Like somebody was asking what her daily schedule is, and she said
She
like
just squat
her
SPD every
schedule,
day.
this is her schedule. She wakes up, she prepares food for the day, she walks, she eats, she trains, she takes a nap, she walks, she goes to sleep. That's
That's
her
like my
day.
ideal life.
Her entire
Ideal.
day is like is
That's my
training. That's it.
ideal.
So yeah. Okay, so up to number 8. So my number 8 is also Esperanza. So I think on this list, I would say you are probably the strongest squatter on this entire list.
Oh,
Um,
thanks.
and actually, I definitely owe some success for my YouTube to her because
Oh, yes,
um,
I remember
her
that.
video got well her video got well over 1 million views on YouTube. Got
Yes.
thousands of comments. Like for that video alone, I think I got like 2,000, like close to 2,000 subscribers from that one video. So it definitely was.
Queen.
But like the point is like it's so crazy, like it's so impressive that like just everybody thought it was fake. They just thought it was fake. They thought that like nobody, like literally there was like nobody that believed that it was possible. Like it's just
Yeah.
you don't really see like seeing a 17-year-old like squat like I think it was I forget that video was 435 or 445 something like that, and it's
Yeah.
just like
For like
it's
5
crazy.
reps.
Like I mean, you guys are all high level powerlifters, so like you lift heavy weights and you also probably train with other people who are strong. But like if you go to a regular gym, I've never seen like you don't even see girls squatting 3 plates. Forget 4 plates. No, doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Does not exist. So
That's
yeah,
the thing. Training at those commercial gyms is like you put on more than 3 plates or 4 plates, and people are like, "Oh, what are you taking?" And I'm like, I'm not taking anything. Like I
I'm a
compete.
minor, so
Yeah, it's like
okay.
I'm 18 now, but like even when I was 17 squatting, 405, they were like, "Oh, what are you taking?" And I'm like, "I don't take anything." And they're like, "You have to be. You don't squat that." And
When you hit the
You
double
don't squat that. I
I'm
just
like, "It's
did.
on the bar. I just did it. What do you mean?" But I don't know. But yes,
not crazy. There's nothing crazier than like getting told fake when they're in person. Like
I
not
know.
even on video. Like they're
Hey,
watching
what's
it
your
and it's
stack,
so fake.
Esperanza?
Oh God. I promise I don't take anything, guys. I've been drug tested.
You should literally just make like a YouTube channel where you just go to like commercial gyms and just like lift like find like the strongest dude there and just like do it like lift whatever he's doing.
Oh
Like that
gosh.
like
Oh
because
my God.
for commercial gyms, like
Yeah,
it doesn't exist. Like even in powerlifting gyms, it's obviously very rare. But like
it
in commercial
is.
gyms, like no,
Yeah, no,
never.
commercial gyms are just people literally tell you to your face, "Oh, that's not real." And I'm like, "Do you think I brought these
That's
fake
not
plates
real.
with me? Or you think they're like, you have to be taking something?" Or they're like, "How old are you?" I'll be like, 18. They're like, "No, you're not." Okay.
You're actually just a figment of their imagination.
Okay. That's fine. It's all right.
It's that's insane. Yeah, so anyway, so
Yes.
things like just like your squat is absolutely incredible. I don't
Thank you.
know what the 70 who's the 76 junior for the US.
I
I
don't think
don't
they
think we
sent one
have
this
one.
year because they sent Jess Kinney in 2023 and like 2022, but she aged out this year. And I don't think they sent a 76.
They
Yeah,
didn't
we
send
didn't have
anyone.
one.
I was
Okay,
sent
so
to NAPF, but they didn't send anyone to Worlds this year.
did you win that? Really?
Did I win Nats? No.
Who
I
won
got second.
76? Who won?
Emma Newman.
And what did she total?
I think like I'm not sure actually.
She may have
Right.
I
declined her
don't know.
invite. I don't know if she got one, but she may
She
have
got
declined.
an I think we both got NAPF invites, if
Yeah.
I'm correct.
Uh-huh.
So they just
But
didn't send a 76?
I
yeah,
don't
No.
think
well,
so.
the way it works is no, it goes by Carpino. So I remember this from I was
Yeah.
talking about this after national. So if you win and get a certain Carpino, then you get an automatic invite. But if you win and you
Oh,
don't
right,
meet
right,
the
right.
Carpino,
I
yeah.
remember
So
this.
okay. So in that case though, if there's no 76, then even though it's gonna be your first year in the juniors, like I mean, you definitely can take that 76 spot because with another year to prep and you total 492 and a half last year. So if you get into like the five, whatever, 510,
Yeah.
520s, like that's like A, good enough to get the world spot, and B, good enough to like win junior worlds with. So
It
Yeah,
would
I think
Emma Newman totaled 450.
so she was probably a little bit under. You probably needed like closer to 480, if I had to guess. I don't know the exact number, but probably something like that.
They didn't send like the US juniors this year. They did not send for females. They did not send a whole team.
Really?
Like, no, there was not
No.
9 people. There wasn't a
Why?
50, there wasn't a 47, 52, or 57 because
No,
they
no, it
weren't.
was 47. No, Justin.
Jessica, no?
Oh,
Justin.
sorry,
Yeah,
forgot about
I
Jessica.
forgot. I
Sorry.
forgot of
Sorry.
all
Well,
the
but
She's gonna
she
be
people.
wasn't
mad.
at Junior Nats. She wasn't planning on doing Junior Worlds. Like I literally props to me, guys. I convinced her. I convinced her. Elena Rivera.
Oh
You
Write,
gosh.
ate.
write
You
this
ate.
down, guys. But yeah, because she wasn't at age Nats or whatever. But obviously, she's the best 47 junior in America. Like, no duh. But yeah, they didn't send a 52 or a 57, and then they had to they went through 84 pluses. Like they got they handed those invites out like candy to get somebody on that.
They did.
Right.
They really did.
I think Luella was supposed to do it and then she didn't. I don't remember what happened. Like,
I don't know where if she's been lifting or where she's like gone. I think she got the invite because of her total last year because she didn't compete in hats.
right. But then she was on the nominations for NAPS and then she just didn't do it.
Right, I remember that.
So I'm not sure. But it was crazy because she still had another year in the sub juniors after like what she did last year. So it was kind of nuts. But okay. On to Eleni. Who do you have in number 8?
I also have Esperanza. So for me, again, the squat, I'd say squat and bench, both very, very impressive. I remember the first time I was like, I saw Esperanza, I was scrolling on TikTok, and I think it was like in 2022. It was like when you first started powerlifting, and I think you like
Yeah.
were repping out like 315 for like 8, I swear to God. And I was like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah.
So I feel like I knew from the start, like you were going to be up there and you haven't failed to impress me with your strength at all yet. And again, like as Ellie
Aw.
said, even though the total was lower at Worlds and it wasn't
Yeah.
national, I think that doesn't showcase your full potential. Um, and because even at nationals, like I wouldn't say that like you went 9 for 9, so like obviously that was a really, really good total. But I wouldn't say that that was like the most you could do for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like you still had more in the tank on a couple of those lifts, and obviously just with more time and with more progress, like
Of course.
you could be up there. And as Mike pointed out, like you're above the 76 juniors from last year. Like you have a very, very good shot at making it to Worlds in the next coming years.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
That sounds like who do you have in number 8?
That's crazy. I also have myself. Um, yeah, just I really think the performance at Worlds really didn't showcase, I feel like what I could have really done. I think having to really adapt to that kind of like atmosphere, because as Eleni said, it is a really big difference. It is no joke from nationals to worlds. It is just a huge difference. It's such a big request. And you just put so much pressure on yourself. But I think, well, I know realistically, I have such a great coach and I have, full trust in him. And I'm very grateful that I have him in my corner at all times. Kind of coming back from Worlds and really readjusting and seeing what we have to do and what adjustments we have to make. I'm confident that within the following year, we can really make some progress. Just kind of, meeting the standards on squat, meeting the standards on bench, fixing technique, and then obviously staying healthy and kind of just fixing the back is going to be the biggest thing for us. But I think Worlds was not my best performance whatsoever. It was actually very disappointing. Um, but that's why realistically I'd put myself at 8. I wouldn't put it any higher.
So I would ask you, what do you think? Like, what would be your biggest takeaway from Worlds? Like, what did you learn that like you would? What happened that you weren't expecting? Like, what would you say? Like, coming in, you saw one thing, and then like afterwards, you're like, oh, I learned this, or I realized this. What would you say?
I would definitely say going into Worlds, I don't want to say I had a chip on my shoulder, but obviously coming off of nationals, I went 9 for 9 and I had a really good meet. I think that was one of the first meets I went 9 for 9. No, that was my second meet I went 9 for 9. So I was just really like, okay, like, I got this. Like, I'm relaxed. I'm going to Worlds. I'm going to make so much progress. So I wouldn't say I was training with as much purpose as I was going into nationals. Before nationals, I had a really bad meet as well. Um, I still somehow totaled more than I did at Worlds, but that meet was terrible too. So it just kind of pushed me to work harder for nationals. And then when I went to nationals, I feel like I took my foot off the gas And I was like, okay, I could kind of like relax a little bit. I did really good. And then obviously I have this like weird back. So I have a bulge disc in my back right now, and then it's causing pain in the mid back. So kind of just been dealing with that for a little bit. Probably say since nationals. Um, so I kind of let that take over a little bit and kind of take like my mental being of it. It's like, oh, I can't do this because of my back. Oh, I have a little bit of back pain, so I can't do that. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, coming out of Worlds, I really think one, listening to my body. When I'm hurting, I'm hurting. But obviously, kind of just keeping my head down, moving forward. Not getting too conceited, not getting too much ego. I'm grateful that I had the outcome that I had at Worlds. I wish it was different, but I'm glad I did it. I feel like I've learned much more as a lifter and as a person. And I just think that I wanted so much more now, and I'm enjoying the process rather than just the end goal. So, competing next year, hopefully if I make it to Worlds, I feel like I will enjoy it more because I've had to work so much more for it. So,
Okay, good answer. Elliot, who do you have at number 8?
I have Brooke from the USA at number 8. Uh, did 438 at 63. Had a 472 dots, 96.1 GL. She, I believe, got silver on bench, and that was to a chip of a world record, right? So like not a bad way to get silver. Got gold on deads. Did not medal on squat, I believe, but like that's because there was like a four-way tie for at 157.5. And she was the heaviest. So like she just got bumped down to the bottom. But like it wasn't like a strength thing and it's in the same weight class, right? Um Pretty solid numbers. Did it at Worlds. I think she would rank higher, but there's some pretty ridiculous people on this list that are dotting higher than her while also being at Worlds. I don't think I could put her any higher than I did. Uh, so I'm pretty comfortable with this pick because I also don't think she deserves to be any lower.
Okay, that's a good pick. Lily, who do you have for number 8?
Okay, I also have Esperanza. Um,
great.
the first time that I like ever saw Esperanza, I was like, that's it for me. It's over. It's just over. And I
Oh my
mean that in the
gosh.
actual best way possible. And I remember just watching you at nationals, and I was like sitting with my family, and we were all like genuinely like astounded by how you could squat so much.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And just basically like taking in your squat, and you have such a consistent bench and a consistent deadlift, like all of that, even though you are a squat specialist, you still have so much more to offer,
Thank
like
you.
full in the full power regard. And that's why I put you on this list. And even though like Worlds did not live up to your expectations, I think you still did absolutely amazing. Like you still like out totaled like all of the 76 juniors. So I think you have a very, very promising junior future ahead of you. Yeah,
Thanks.
of
I appreciate that a lot.
course.
Okay, it was very good when we all have like the same person in the same range. That means that we're doing something right usually. So now I'll move on to number 7, and this is actually the first person on my list for that I have no idea who they are. Her name is Iris Tyberg, and she is born in 2008. So that means she has 2 more years as a sub junior,
She's
which is
ridiculous.
pretty crazy. And what she did, it was a local meet, but she did 445 at 61.6 body weight. So she's a light 63. She's doing over the 63 world record total, and she still has 2 more years as a sub junior.
That's
So
diabolical.
I
Jesus
need
Christ. Oh my
I,
God.
I need somebody to find me her Instagram, please, because I definitely want to share her videos because she's incredible. And I'm just curious, like, who's her coach? Like, when did she start lifting? Like, all this kind
Yeah,
of stuff. Because all I can
she's
find is
got to
like,
be
oh,
somewhere.
I
I
couldn't find her
tried.
when you
She's
asked me.
USAPL, right?
Yeah, if you find it, let me know. But I'm saying, so all I can find is her open powerlifting, and she's extremely strong. So I'm curious where she goes. Like, she's young, so if she
Is she
decides
American?
to,
Yeah,
yeah,
from
American.
Oregon.
Let's
So
go.
if she decides to switch to powerlifting America, she for sure will take like a 63 world, meaning meaning Brooke is aging out. So and she's already like at past that level even. So like we're talking somebody who not only like if they switch over to the IPF will get a world spot, but somebody who will be like an extreme favorite to win world. So for the American side, like definitely I want her to switch over because we want that W, right? We all want the US to get the dub. But also I want to see what she can do on like a world stage. I want to see all this. And with the progress she's making now, I wouldn't be surprised if that like 445 is more like 460 or 470, which at 63 is crazy
That's
for her.
diabolical.
That's
Yeah,
it's insane. So I definitely yeah, I gotta find I really gotta find her again because I really gotta figure out who this is. But that's my number seven. Eleni, who do you have at number seven?
So I have Isabel Ugalde, who we talked about briefly a bit earlier. I think Lily had her on her list. Very impressive lifter, as we discussed. Her bench is very, very impressive. She went to Bench Worlds this year. I think she got gold at Bench Worlds. And then at Worlds, she got silver. Again, has another year in the sub juniors. I want to say she totaled around like 415-ish, around there. 410
Yeah,
maybe? I don't know.
417.5.
Yeah, okay, that sounds right. And just she's honestly like kind of got screwed by the age thing. She just turned 17. Um, and so she's like young for that age category, even though she has one more year left. But I think she's just making like such fast progress. I think she's one of those lifters that doesn't really realize how strong she is. I feel like I see her training and I'm like, girl, like you gotta be loading more. Like, I don't know who her coach is, but like I feel like I see her do everything and it's so easy. And I'm like, please, like you have so much room to grow.
Okay, that's because you said she has another year, like
Yeah.
really almost two, but like 1 year. Okay, so that's right. And we just talked about Brooke aging out. So and if she came second at Worlds and Brooke's aging out, which means that she's definitely going to be in the running for winning Worlds this coming year. Okay, Esponza, who do you have for number seven?
I had Brooke. I mean, I know we already talked about her, but I saw her at Worlds and I thought she was just so amazing and she's just so strong. So I have her at my number seven.
Okay, anything to add or that?
I mean, I don't know. I think we kind of talked about it, but I think, she was just really amazing. And watching her, it was just like, it was kind of like, wow, like she did really well. And she was really, really impressive. I don't know. That's just my behalf. I thought she was amazing.
Okay, Elliot, moving on to you. Who do you have
I,
for number seven?
I also have Iris Tyberg. So I wanted to get some more info since you already talked about it. We were talking about like record holding, right? Uh, she has the capability to break the squat record, I think, which is 161.5. I think that was set this year, actually. Um, Let me double check that. Yeah, this year. And then she's basically at the bench record, which is 104. She benched 102.5, so she's like a kilo and a half off. Um, and that record actually was also set this year. Then if we go to deadlift, this is I think the most impressive record that she can break. It's 190 at 61. That record has been standing since 2019, so coming up on like 6 years. And
Is that
she,
Samantha? Is that Smith Eugene Circus?
Yes, it is.
yes, it is. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
right. So, and she pulled 187.5 uh, at 15 years old. What? At 61.6? What?
So
No, I
basically,
don't.
what you're telling me is that
You have
she
a four times world record holder in another federation that we have no
you're
idea who it is.
yeah you're saying
Like,
she could break every single
at
record.
15 years old.
Maybe I need to even bump her higher up this list. That's crazy. I
Yeah,
didn't even know that.
so, yeah.
The thing is, she probably doesn't even realize how good she is.
I
It's
know.
ridiculous. Well, because she hasn't competed at a national meet. I think it looks like the biggest meet she's competed at is Northwest Regionals. I don't even really know what that is.
How many times has she competed? Like how fairly new
A
is she?
decent amount. Let's see, one, two. It's hard because she does multiple.
Divisions.
What's it called? Multiple divisions per meet because why not? I guess. Um,
Imagine she doesn't have Instagram and she just goes to the gym and
it
somebody's
seems
like,
like a
you're
solid like
strong. You should
six
do
times.
powerlifting.
She's been competing since she was 10 years old.
No.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
No
since 10 years.
way.
Yeah. So like, I mean, that's like the new gen, right? Like, I don't think I've ever seen a 15-year-old girl pull like 420 pounds off the floor. I don't even know what to say about that. Like that just
That's
makes me feel
crazy.
bad about myself. All right. Like,
All
That's
right,
so,
all
so,
right.
so basically what
because that's
I've
like what I
learned
was lifting at 15.
what I've learned today is that you have to start at like 9 because we did the juniors men's morning
And you
and we
have
had the
Ilya
same thing.
Marks.
Ilya Markov, he is insane. He's a 74 kilo lifter who like totaled 785. He's crazy. He started at 9 years old. He said
And his coach is his
he weighs
dad.
27 kilos. He weighed 27 kilos. Now he's a 74. Like, oh, and now this one, she started lifting. She started competing, not even lifting, competing at 10. So, and these are
That's
all people who are crazy, just
ridiculous.
breaking records left and right. Wow, that's
Competing at
crazy.
10. Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
used
can't
to,
imagine
I
that.
don't even.
yeah, I used to think like if you were lifting at like 17, I'm like, wow, they started young. And now we're talking about
Yeah,
people who
now
are
you're getting into
like
like,
Nine. You're getting
elementary
into the
school.
single digits.
That's wild.
or go get a pacifier or something. I don't know why you're lifting weights.
I can't. I can't do it anymore.
That's crazy. You're in third grade. When you're in third grade, gotta go to the gym.
Wow.
Go
That's
bench 200. I mean, like, also that, like, she's benching over 2 plates
yeah.
at 15 years old. What
That
the fuck?
that is wild. Okay, Lily, number 7. Who do you have?
Okay, I have this Alexandra Fragoso Kerchuk. I think that's how you pronounce it. She is actually the one who chipped Brooks' bench record that she was going for at Worlds.
You tipped it again
And
I think, right?
what'd you say?
You tipped it again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think so. So she's born in '07, so she has another year left in sub juniors, and she's already benching 104 kilos. So she is definitely going to be breaking her own record if Iris does not switch over.
I
But
am
yeah.
not familiar with her. Okay, I'm looking her up right now because I am
Mhm.
not. She's a 63 and
Yes.
benched 104. Okay, wow,
Mhm.
that is. And she came in what? What? She came in
I
third.
think she
Okay.
came in, yeah. Just her
Okay.
bench is wild. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
locking in, bro.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's good. It's good to learn people that I didn't even know like
Hmm.
literally
I think this
existed.
is the first time I've seen him like caught off guard by
Oh, wait.
like
Something also very impressive, though, is that she competed at Euros in 2023 and she benched 80 keys, and then that went up to 104 within a
Still a
year.
63 or what weight class?
She was 57.
Okay, so at least there's that.
Uh-huh.
When I was like
At least.
25
She
kilos
would
on
not
your bench
accept
in a
it.
year. It's like I need a little of that.
Yeah.
25 kilos. Wow. Okay. Moving on to number 6. At number 6, I have Desiree Rodriguez. She's in her last year in sub juniors as well. She totaled 477.5 at 67 and a half because she was USAPL, um, which is pretty crazy. She's over the world record. She pulled 200 kilos, which is over the world record deadlift. She is basically at the world record total, which we'll discuss who holds the world record total later because they are one of the best sub-junior lifters. But she's extremely strong. I believe she did a Powerlifting America meet recently, which means
yeah.
that okay, so she's going to be switching over. She's not going to be a junior anymore. I mean, a sub-junior anymore, but I guess she's gonna have to battle in the juniors, which is kind of tough because the
Yeah,
69
Carolyn
juniors,
Connor.
Carolyn
Carolyn.
Connor. I don't know if you guys saw her recent post, but she's crazy strong and
Yeah.
still just getting
Yeah,
stronger, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, the 69 juniors are a crazy weight class. Like
very stacked.
there's like 4 or 5 of them that are like into the like 520s, which is crazy.
Mm.
But I mean, but she did at 477, like 0.5 at 6'7.5". So she can still eat into the class. She's still young. She's gonna be a junior for the next 5 years. Like I'm sure I don't think she's gonna be winning nationals at 69 this year, but they send multiple people in certain weight classes depending on how things shake out. And if not this year, definitely in the future, she's definitely gonna be a threat in the 69. So that's who I have at number 6. Eleni, who do you have for number?
I have Brooke Nagel, so we don't need to say much because we've discussed her quite a bit, but very impressive lifter. Of course, broke the world record. Holds total world record. Yeah, not much else to say since we've already covered her pretty much.
Okay, that works. Esperanza, who do you have?
For number 6, I have Iris. I mean, we kind of spoke about her already. I said her name right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, I just want to make sure. But yeah, no, like competing since she was 10. I mean, and she's only 15. She literally has 3 more years or 2 more years in this class. She's ridiculous. Like I don't know. It's crazy. Benching 2. Let's move on.
Let's
Okay,
move on.
Let's move on.
Disclaimer, I didn't put her on my list, but if I would reconsider, but I don't know where she would fall because I just like,
Yeah, have it.
yeah.
It's
That's
fine.
how
Like,
it goes. That's what makes it fun.
yeah, there's always people who like we had the wild card last time was that Joey not Joey, Big Body
Chase.
put
Oh.
Elliot into
Oh,
his
right.
list for
Yeah,
the
that. I
juniors.
forgot about
And
that.
we didn't put him on because he's a sub junior, not a junior. So that changed up everyone's rankings. Or like we were doing the sub junior men and like Chase Gravitt had just competed and like it wasn't on open
And Dale
powerlifting yet.
Johnson catched him.
So
Yeah.
I hadn't known his total. So like we're always gonna forget people. So I wouldn't adjust the list. It's fine.
I'm not.
Like whatever,
So
yeah,
easy
whatever you have to list.
to
Okay. Elliot, who do you got?
I don't know how to pronounce this name at all. I think me only Stefan. I don't. It's my dash only. I don't. I have no idea. I'm so sorry, but you're really strong, so please forgive me. She did not go to Worlds. She only did Oceania, but managed to total like 420 as a 55.8. It is her last year at Subjuniors,
Thank
but
you
like,
for not putting her above me. I would have.
well, like, as I'm gonna get into that, like, she didn't go to Worlds. So I gotta chip her a little bit for that. Like, it's only I think like a 6 kilo difference between your guys' totals. And if we're going by someone who already had trouble at a regional meet, so less travel, less worry, stuff like that. I think Worlds is even more pressure, especially because it doesn't really seem like at least on Open IPF, this is the only meet that it shows her competing in. So like it knocks her down a little bit in my opinion. Definitely a really strong lifter though. Got 167 point or holy crap. 170 on squat, 80 on
Oh my
bench,
God, that's insane.
170 on deads. Very, very strong lifter. 100.06 GL, so like 100.1, whatever.
That's actually crazy. She actually has the fourth highest GL of any sub junior ever.
Right.
Not
Like
this year.
the only reason that I put her lower is just because like she didn't go internationally, and there's another lifter on here that also didn't go to Worlds and is I'm sure
Don't give away my secrets yet.
I think we both know.
Well,
I think
told
our
you about
top
this person.
yeah, you did.
We found out about this person on the last podcast. So
Who's ridiculous.
I'm sure not 100%. I'm 99% sure none of you guys have heard of this person, but we'll mention her later.
I'm gonna go get a charger real quick, but
okay,
I'll
go.
be right back.
Fine. So Lily, who do you have for number 6?
Okay, I actually have Iris. which I don't even know what to add for that. She's just like otherworldly, honestly. Like training since you were competing since you were 10 years old, I can't even imagine. Like I just can't. Like she was fully like doing pull-ups at the recess bars, like and
It's
that's basically it. I don't know what else to add for her.
that sums it up. At this point, the only thing I need somebody to find her Instagram. Like seriously,
What's her last name?
Kyberg,
Kyber.
Kyberg. If
I'm
if
on
I
it.
don't if I don't find it, like if nobody tells me today, I'm just gonna literally just post a story and say, does anybody know who this is and what their Instagram is?
Wait, what state is she from?
Who?
I, Oregon, we said? Is that what you said?
Oregon, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm on
So
it.
now we are into the top half, up to number five. So for number five, I also have my only Stephen. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce the name. She's from Nauru. I mean, her squat is crazy. 170 at 57 is just absolutely
And
nuts.
not filled out at 55, I think it
Yeah,
was.
I believe like 57, like the world record for the
It is
open
like
is
165.
no,
Or
no,
No.
no, no, no,
oh,
no.
or do you mean
It's
like
like
open?
yeah, the open. It's like
I
it's
thought
like
you were talking sub junior.
Sub-junior is
no. It's like one.
160.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for the open, the record's only like 187 or something, right? Like either Jod has it or Bobby.
I
Like
think
they
I
keep
think
going back
John
and forth.
has it.
So we're talking like only like we're pretty close to the open, and we're not just talking about like anybody. We're talking like the open record for like one of the like most hyped classes. Like, I mean, if anybody's been
Loaded.
watching powerlifting for the last 3 years, one of the most hyped classes is the 57. Like we had Joy and Imani versus Jod, then we had Jod versus Natalie. Like there's just superstars in that class. So to like be close to the open world record as a sub junior is crazy. Now, again, like Elliot said, she gets knocked a little bit because she didn't do it at Worlds or whatever. And the way I view it is when it's close, if somebody does it at Worlds, they definitely get a big bump. Like, let's all be honest here right now. If Alemi went and did a local meet right now, 420 would be very easy. I'm saying whatever. We've seen her training, right? I think everyone here has seen her training. So that's why like it definitely counts. And like when it's not close, then I'll take it. But like when it's close, you always give it to the international lifter. That's just my
Right.
personal viewpoint. So that's my number five. Eleni, who do you have at number five?
For number five, I have Maeva Darrow. So I have a good amount to say about her because I competed against her at Worlds. Very good lifter. I came in to Worlds. Definitely, she pushed me over prep with like I'm honestly grateful to have had a really good competitor like herself because it kept me humble, kept me working really hard. I remember first seeing her. She was not compete. She did not compete at Worlds in 2023, but like after Worlds, after we threw around the deadlift world record like 3 times at Worlds in 2023, she went to Euros and stole that right away from Chloe Tang, who had it before. And from that moment, I was like, shoot, I've got to work hard if I'm going to be against her at Worlds in 2024. And nonetheless, she broke the deadlift world record at Worlds this year before I got the chance. I'm just kidding. But she broke the world record. So she's broken the world record twice on deadlift in the 57s, I think, maybe 3 times. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, she got silver medaled on everything. Very good lifter.
Okay. Moving on. Esperanza, who do you have at number five?
Okay, I have Desiree Rodriguez, and I know she did not compete internationally, Elliot, but okay, because that's like
You
your thing,
haven't even
right?
heard my number 5 yet.
Whatever. She honestly like I follow her, we watch her on Instagram, and she is just absolutely amazing. She is so strong. Her squats, her bench. Have you guys seen her bench?
I know who you're
Yes.
talking about. Yeah.
She
Does she
is
bench two reds?
Yes, she benches like
Wild.
270, 260. And
Oh,
her deadlift, I swear, like I've seen her pull like 470 plus. She is
She benches
ridiculous.
275.
How much does she pull?
Let me look.
Ridiculous.
I feel like it's 485.
Yeah, you see, and she squats well over 400. She is ridiculous. She's at my number five. I'm so excited to see her at the world stage because I'm positive she'll earn a spot there. So she's at my number five, even though she hasn't competed internationally yet. I know that when she does, she'll be amazing.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she's insane. Like we just have to see it at the biggest stage. That's all it's
She
left for her.
needs. Yep.
Elliot, who is your number five?
I also have Desiree.
Ah,
So
here we
like
go.
if you could give me a sec.
Here we go.
Jeez. Um Now, like, if I go by like just pure numbers, she's like number two on the list, which is insane because this is a stacked list. Like I said, it's gonna knock her a bit because didn't go to Worlds. And there are other lifters that I think you could argue that also didn't go to Worlds on this list. Uh, but I put her below them a little bit just because of the drop off after her best meet. Obviously that wasn't necessarily her fault. It got injured, but like I can't give way to the other competitors who either kept improving or haven't like had a worse total since. But regardless of whatever that follow up total may be, 493 dots as a sub junior at any meet is ridiculous.
Mm.
172.5 squat. That's pretty close, I believe, to the sub junior women's record. For this, it's 69s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
79.
180, so it's 7.5 off, right? If we go by bench, it's 111, so she literally starches it. Like I don't really have any words for for that. For I mean, like when you get close to that 500 dots limit, like everyone at this top of this list is really gonna be, uh, in like the high 480s, mid 480s to like high 490s, mid 490s. Like once you get to that level, like the lifting speaks for itself. Like it's ridiculous numbers. I I'm really impressed by pretty much everyone on this list, and it just keeps getting more ridiculous. I don't really. The next one is I think the he knows the next one is probably the most ridiculous that I've seen. His secret pick.
Can't reveal my secrets yet.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Okay,
get my glasses out for that one.
Lily, who do you have for number five?
I actually put her a lot higher than most of you did, but I have Brooke Nagel because, like, also I think I'm a little bit biased because I know Brooke. My first nationals, I actually competed with her, and I have never seen someone compete with such like grace to them. Like, she just went out there and did whatever she had to do, like, to win, and like I respect that so much. And also, every single meet, every single national meet that I've seen her compete at, she has broken the bench national record, and I think that just speaks for itself.
I'm also a little biased because she's just like the sweetest little thing,
She
honestly.
really is. Like, she was one of my like first like powerlifting friends. She's awesome.
Cute. Her dad coaches her. It's just
I
it's
know, it's so
Um,
cute.
Oh,
And
it's
she's been
one of
competing
those.
forever too.
yeah.
She started very, very young, and she is
How
definitely going places.
how long has she been competing for?
Let me see exactly. Because she
Since
was USAPL for a,
2019. Oh wait,
yes.
no, that's well, that's when USAPL was part of IPF. Okay, yeah. So since she was 13, holy shit.
My God.
wow.
Yeah, and her dad has been her coach like forever, which is
Hey,
so
if
adorable.
it works, right? Like she's
Yeah.
winning. So
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, so moving on to number four. So at number four, I have Zuzana Mazur. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly. I mean, she's pretty crazy. 76 kilo lifter, total 493. She has the squat world record 185.5, which from the got to push past that in comp. And but
I know. I know.
for now, it belongs to Zuzana. And then she has the deadlift world record 209 as
Yes.
as well as the world record total and winning the class. So I mean, she had a phenomenal meet. She set the world record squats, deadlift total, won the championship. Not much else you can say. I mean, she dots 483, 98 point something good lift points. Like she's the best 76 sub junior ever by total. She's just really strong. So it's her last year as a sub junior, but I believe she's Polish. So
Yes.
maybe we got another Agatha coming into the juniors. So definitely looking forward to seeing what she can do because she'll for sure push into the 500. So it's definitely someone to look out for. Eleni, who do you have for number four?
I have Cassandra Olivier. We mentioned her a while ago. I put her way, way higher just because she's got so much world experience where it's gonna do nothing but help her succeed in the future. I don't know what place she got in Euros in 2023, but I know she got bronze in Romania, either silver or gold in Euros in 2023. And then she got gold at Worlds this year and gold at Euros this year. And the 52s were a pretty competitive class this year at Worlds and Euros. So definitely props to her. And I think that she can actually grow into the class a little bit more because I don't think she cuts that much if she does it all. As we said, her bench is insane. I've watched her training recently and she's developed the sink because I think she got lighted a couple of times at Worlds, but still ended with like above like the 57 podium for Worlds on bench was like everybody split 82.5. And then she benched like 87.5 at 52 and would have trucked all of us. Um, but her progress has been quite insane to watch. Comparing her total in 2023, I think she totaled like 330 at Worlds in 2023 and then totaled 370, which is just like huge progress for a 52. So I'm really excited to see what she does next year. Perhaps bring the 52 sub-juniors to the 400 total mark.
Wow, that would definitely be impressive. Is she French, I believe?
Yeah.
Okay. So the French, right? The French and the sub juniors, juniors, they're definitely killing it. So expect to see some good progress there. Esperanza, who do you have for number four?
I actually have Eleni. So listen, I was going to put Eleni a little bit higher, but Eleni is also like high as well. Like four is still really, really high, and she's so strong. Obviously her deadlift. I mean, what is there more to add? Like her deadlift, it's crazy. And then her squats. Like I watched a recent squat PR. Eleni, I don't know how you fight a squat like that.
That's what I was gonna.
Like she's sitting there, and
She on the verge of death.
you really think it's like
RPE 7.
it's like a pause squat midway and she's holding it for like 5 seconds. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, how does she do it? I don't know. LNE is ridiculous. Your bench, obviously like the sinking has got a lot better, so your depth on bench has gotten a lot better. Also, I saw your bench PR as well. What was it, like 209?
Something
What
like
is it
that.
gonna be? 100, something like that. Something light, 100 kilos coming up next week. Um, but yeah, no, your deadlift is ridiculous. Honestly, you're just so strong, and I'm so excited to see you in the juniors because I think you're gonna do so well. So,
Day.
of course,
Okay, Elliot, who do you got?
You're gonna hate me. I'm stealing your secret pick for my number four.
I want to know who this
Okay,
is.
So
wait. Just one rule. You can't talk too much about it. You gotta let me talk
I will,
about
I
it.
will, I will.
I'm on the edge of my
So
seat here.
Yeah, let's go. Come on.
I'm just gonna go
Spit
over
it
the
out.
numbers she put up. I'm gonna let you reveal the most shocking fact about her because I'm
Okay.
just
Any
gonna
any
say the
day now.
numbers and the body
I'm
weight,
ready. I'm
What's
right?
her,
excited.
what is she, a
So
freaking 47? Like,
she is a 47. She is a
oh, right on the money.
47
Let's go.
with a 134.5 squat, a 94 bench, and a 140 deadlift.
Gag me at 94. Gag me at 94.
Now
My gosh.
that's just the numbers. I'm gonna let Mike tell you what's the craziest thing about
Is
this
she like
girl.
12?
Go ahead
Overcooked.
if you wanna go. Now,
She's
because it's
14.
No, you're lying.
I am not lying.
We're all
She's born
cooked.
Russian
It's
Classic
over.
Powerlifting Championship.
Where's she from?
she's from Russia.
Russia.
Oh,
I
continue.
just so I don't think she has an Instagram, but I got linked to a YouTube video with her actual competition list.
Did you really?
And yes, and not only
Is it
did she do
easy?
those lists, they were easy.
No.
Jesus Christ.
They
Send
were
it to me,
easy.
dude.
I will send the link on the chat afterwards.
Oh my
Please
Um,
do.
gosh.
Suggest.
she's
Yeah, go for it.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna ruin where I have her on the rankings. I mean, eventually it'll be ruined, but yeah, she's just an absolute freak, and I'll talk more about her later. So let's go back to it.
What?
Yeah, I mean, almost a world record and or close to a world record in every single lift. So and total. So I number four spot. The only reason I don't have her higher is not at Worlds, and I think when you're that young, Worlds is going to be a lot of pressure. So I think it would have definitely impacted her performance a good bit. Although based off what Mike's saying, it was easy. So fuck me, I guess. I don't. That's my pick. That's my pick.
That okay. Um, Lily, who do you have?
Okay, I'm actually like still gagged by that, but for four, I also have Desiree Rodriguez because I remember seeing her on my Instagram for the first time, and I like probably looked her up on five different platforms to make sure I was reading her age right because I was like, there's no way she is below 18 years old. And I was just gagged like the entire time I was looking at her, like, how do you bench 275? And it wasn't even like that difficult, too.
It's not.
And
That's the thing. Her lifts are so easy.
she like she lifts like so like elegantly.
Yes.
And I'm like, how do you make it look like that? And the 485 deadlift, it just gets me. She's gonna do great things. I have no doubt about that.
Her deadlift was beautiful.
Yeah. It just like goes up.
We
Like
gotta.
it
Yeah.
It just goes
it kind of just goes.
Yeah, it's like she just doesn't struggle. I don't know. I'm her biggest fan. Like she does not struggle at all. Her
Oh, I
bench.
always see you in her comments.
Oh God, I'm like I'm
Glazing
always
her.
commenting. I'm like, this is insane. She's ridiculous.
She is.
Definitely shown. Okay, so that leads us to our top three. So for my number three, I have our 57 kilo world champion, Eleni Guerra. So definitely remember watching last year Worlds, coming to Worlds last year. I wasn't familiar really with Chloe. I think Chloe Ting's her name. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew who Eleni was, and I thought like, okay, let's watch Eleni. And then all of a sudden, there's this girl comes out of nowhere and wins. But we all saw Eleni last year, and then we saw all the progress made from last year to this year. And then this year, I was a little more okay. We know Eleni, but like there's these other people. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on behind the curtains. Then we watch, and then Eleni has a phenomenal performance at Worlds. Takes the World Championship, obviously. Takes the world record deadlift with what was 181,
Yeah.
something like that. So basically, that's 400 pounds, I think, exact, or like 399, something like that.
I write 400 because that's it.
Listen, you can do that. That we'll count that as 400.
My justification is that I pulled 183 at Nats, so I'm like, okay, like I've already passed the 400 mark in comp. Like,
Oh, okay, fine.
So like
you know
you're good.
That's actually that's a valid, very valid point. So you already have the 400 comp. I mean, we all know like you are one of the like best deadlifters like in the world for Subjuniors. It's not even close. Um, and that's only gotten better. I mean, like you've pulled more in the gym for sure. We'll see. I mean, obviously, I don't know your programming. I don't know how your peak works, but like there are definitely days where it's like, oh my gosh, like you can just load whatever it is. So, and that's going to be necessary because you're going to be moving into the juniors. Who is the 57 junior?
So there's going to be really good competition. So I don't know if you guys know who Rivka is, but she is a USAPL. She benches like 100 plus.
Yeah,
like,
she's my teammate.
Oh my God, yes, she's so nice. Love her. Obviously they can send two, but there's also this other girl who totals like pretty similarly to me. Her name's Ellie like Weinstein or something. I actually don't know if she's allowed to compete on Team USA because she competed in Great Britain within the last year. I don't know if that's some kind of Article 14 moment, but like she is American. I think she may have just done like a semester abroad or something because I know she goes to Wisconsin-Madison, but she totals very similarly to me. And then of course, like there's other people that are talented. Octavia's in the juniors. She's pretty talented. So it'll be a good.
Well, I remember her. She was on the list last year.
Yeah.
Her Instagram's like Avi Hill or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She also has a crazy deadlift. Like
Absolutely crazy deadlift. Yeah.
yeah. So the 57 is right. There's definitely some good, and also what's her name went up to 57, right? Jessica Haggerty.
She's USAPL.
Oh, okay. I don't know which college, depends which college you're in, all that stuff.
Yeah. She goes to Midland.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. So
yeah.
she's not going to be switching back. Okay, but yeah, the 57s will definitely be good. And the truth is, to be honest, like the 57 juniors, like they're definitely good, but I think like it's one of the few weight classes where somebody could step up from the sub juniors and right away like join the mix because there's nobody like doing like like 480 or something. Like I think it's more like what one like 450, right? Something like that.
452.5 won worlds this year.
Right. So 452.5, like that's like right within like that's like to have a full year and like just everything like that's definitely like attainable. Like within
Yeah.
the first year of the juniors. Like of course, like I'm not gonna be like ignorant and say like somebody's gonna come from the sub juniors and become the favorite one year. And that's just like it's people it happens where they win, but you're not gonna be the favorite the first year, but it's definitely doable. So I'm excited to see it. And I don't think we didn't send one this year on a 57 this year.
No.
So yeah, so it definitely helps to add another one to the mix. So look forward to seeing what you do in the 57s, like in the juniors. And I mean, squat's been rolling, deadlift is obviously strong, we all know. And we'll see, you get that bench up to 100 kilos, and listen, you get that bench up to 100 kilos, and then
Then it's anyone's game.
yeah, it's the ball's in your court. So
Give her like
yeah,
2 days. It'll be there.
You
Let me
did.
come
Oh,
to my week
honestly.
one, guys.
yeah, let's. Vin might not be happy if on week one she tries to load 100 kilos on bench.
Ben's already sick of me, so I shouldn't.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't either way. But yeah, that's my number three. Eleni, who do you have at number
I have me at number three as well, so I don't need to talk about myself, but um statistically I'm third, so I felt like that was the way to put myself without like being like, oh my God, I'm so good. That kind of thing. I didn't want to come off as like
She's just that girl.
I did not want to come off. I literally texted Elliot. I was like, is it okay if
Yeah.
I myself third? Like, you don't think that's bad, right? And he's like, it's fine. Like, what?
You were third. So.
So I was like, okay, statistically, I'm third. I can justify this. So that's all I have to say. Yeah.
Okay, that's definitely fair. Efranza, what do you have?
I have Cassandra from France at third. She's a little bit lighter. She's 52. I mean, we kind of discussed her previously, but I think she totaled 372 at Worlds, and she's amazing. I met her the day before I competed. I spoke to her, and she's such a competitor. She's so passionate about like the sport and competing, and she's ridiculous. She's so strong. I think she has a really good future ahead of her. So.
Okay, up to you, Elliot.
For my number three, I have Eleni as well. Four gold medals, so that speaks for itself. And that's in a three-way bench tie, so on body weight as well. And not only did she take those world records, she also kept them when Mava came back at the regional meet. I think it was what, Euros,
Yeah.
and tried to take them back. So she meant, I mean, obviously she didn't compete there, but like they stood for the remainder of the year. That sometimes doesn't happen, because sometimes people pop off at Euros, but like pretty impressive. Loaded weight class as always. The 57s is always a dog fight in my opinion, and but she managed to pull away with what I feel like was a pretty comfortable and reasonable lead. Um, Definitely a solid number three pick. Lived up to the performance at Worlds, and obviously will age into the juniors greatly.
Thank you. I have something funny to add too, just because you brought it up. But I have there's a video of Elliot when I hit my deadlift at Worlds, and I was like,
Oh, that's my favorite video.
and
It's so
I had
good.
told Elliot the game plan that Vin and I had before Worlds, which the announcers very much doubted. I'm in my live stream video. They're like, "This is a hugely ambitious attempt." I'm like, okay, like
Hashtag
that.
hater.
But anyways, I like go out there. I'm walking out for my 181, and he sees Mava put in 181.5, and he goes,
It worked.
181.5. The game plan worked because to get her to chip my world record deadlift rather than to pull for the win. And Elliot was just like, just dying laughing. The game plan worked.
That is
Well,
pretty
because
fun.
it was the first time I had seen like an actual game plan in live action, right? Like I've seen all the like white light media battles where it's like Battle of the 83, stuff like that, right? Like, but like to see one in real time, and this is like my first worlds that I'm going to visit. I was like, it was so hype. It was really cool. Especially with her having like been messaging me about the worry of Mava. Like I'd
I'm
be
so
like
sorry.
in the Chick-fil-A drive-through. She'd be like, bro, my op. my op is gonna catch up to
I
me.
text
She
Elliot, and
doesn't
like the second she'd
post.
post on Instagram, I'd like send him his story, and then I'd be like, Elliot, like, shoot, am I
Like,
cooked, bro?
and
Like,
I'm like, bro, you pull 190 in training, you need to chillax. Like, but yeah, like obviously very impressive performance. And one of the first like real battles, or if not like the first real battle that I have ever seen in person in powerlifting. So it was really cool to see.
thank you.
Elliot, you gotta get around a little more.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so
Crazy.
Okay, Lily, on to you. Who do you have for number three?
Guys, I also have Eleni as
No
number
way.
3. No way. But just I want to take a second and just highlight like your mental growth from like how I saw you at Worlds last year versus this year. And I think that was like so inspiring to watch. And you're just like such an inspiration to all the young lifters. And there are definitely so many people who look up to you in that regard because you're just like, you're so strong, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. And I just see your stories and like, you're just who I want to be in life,
Thank you.
honestly. And then the 4 gold medals too are just like a bonus, I guess.
Thank you. I don't know how I got that. The bench one was really, really not expected.
Bench
And
specialist powerlifting fandom lives to its name.
I was drinking my hydration solution in the weigh-in line and then proceeded to win bench on body weight. And I think there's a photo of me that like, I don't know if you guys know, well, Elliot and Esperanza definitely know who Casey is, but Casey, John Burford's wife, she says to me in the weigh-in line when I'm like drinking my rehydration solution, she's like, did you already weigh in? And I was like, no. And she's like, why are you drinking? And I was like,
I'm like
I
three
don't
kilos
care.
under.
I was like, I don't care. Like what? Anyways, enough about me.
Okay, so now we are up to our top two. So for number two, actually, I'm gonna have the person I came into this thinking this was going to be the number one lifter. She's an amazing lifter, 69 kilo lifter, has been just breaking records and winning championships her entire career. Julie Kostian from Finland. She's crazy. She totaled 480 at 69, world record total, and it's actually a very impressive world record total because the girl she had took it from is Anna Bardova. She's a Russian who like had every single record for like a while. Like if you look like the last few years at like the sub junior record list, like in all the weight class, like she just had all the records, like 63, 69, everything. Like she's like insane. So to take that record, um, is really impressive, and to put up just a phenomenal total, 480 at 69 is like, I mean, that's insane. So we were talking before about Desiree, who's also a 67 at 69 with 477.5, so slightly below, but this was done at Worlds at the highest level, and so she's in her last year of the sub juniors now, but she's insane, and I think she's gonna jump right into the juniors and become in the mix. So that's who I have for number two. Eleni, who do you have?
I have Susanna for number two. We've already discussed her, but I think she kind of, for me, came out of nowhere. Like, not necessarily, like, obviously, I think she was nominated like 470, which is insane. But for me, like, I don't think she was at Worlds in 2023. I may be wrong, or she definitely didn't win Worlds in 2023 because I know the 76 that won Worlds in 2023. And the girl that won in 2023 won with like a low 400s total. So for me, having her and Esperanza both kind of just like come out of the water and totaled that high is really, really impressive. And I think she got second best of junior at Worlds. So also, actually, my top three are all this just straight statistically like people that were ranked at Worlds. So yeah, she's number two.
Yeah, you're right. She wasn't at Worlds in 2023. Is that
Yeah.
so? This is her first one. But I just checked. So yeah. So Julie, she just won her third sub junior world championship.
Yeah,
I mean,
like it's insane. I mean, obviously I have her at number one because I won't get there yet, but like obviously.
yeah. I mean, I thought I was gonna have her at number one. Like
Now
before,
I'm
I
interested to hear who you have because I'm like, who else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah. So I thought I was. I mean, it's just crazy. Like she's honestly probably the most accomplished sub junior female ever. Like I just like winning three, having all the different records, different weight classes, also won Euros like 3 times. Like it's just crazy to do that all as a sub junior. So
Consecutively, like it's just she's still
yeah,
making great progress too. Like if you watch her training, her
I
progress.
know.
Yes, she really is.
Yeah, she is pretty insane. I want to get her on the podcast, but I don't think she's ever seen any of my Instagram messages, so that hasn't worked. But Esperanza, who do you have at number two?
I also have Susanna from Poland. You know, obviously I got the chance to compete against her and she was phenomenal, like in all aspects. She's so strong. She's such a sweet girl. And she has such a bright future, realistically speaking. She was amazing. Like I was astonished. I was like, "Oh wow, like she's such a competitor. She's such a great spirit and such a good sport." So, I'm excited. She also did total 500, but it was technically in the next weight class up, but she was literally only like a kilo over. She was like 76.5 or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know
But
that.
she totaled 500 at another meet. So I was like, this is this is a job. This is a job. But yeah, no, she's ridiculous. So I have her at number two. I think she's amazing.
Okay, Elliot, who do you have?
I also have Susanna. I mean, 4 golds, weighed in at 74, and I think the reason why I've said like 4 golds multiple times now, but to win 4 golds against Esperanza, who in my mind when I was going to watch the session, I was like, "There's like no way she loses." Like I was just expecting a
You
wipeout. I
jinxed
mean,
me.
obvious, I did,
You
I
literally
really
jinxed
did.
me.
You can just say why when people ask why you didn't win, you can just say Elliot jinxed me.
Yeah. Elliot jinxed me.
If he
So
hadn't
did
been
Ellie.
there, I would have won.
Yeah.
But
Curse you
like
for being supportive, Elliot.
curse me. But
Good on
like
you.
in my mind there was no way. And then like to put up a performance like that, and then like Esperanza says, went on to total 500, weighed in 76.5. So literally half a kilo over.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever. Uh,
No, yeah. It was
broke
like,
broke 3 world records. I believe. Yep. Pretty nuts. Uh, and actually, if we're looking at the sub-junior record for the 84s, which is what she weighed in at Euros, she totaled 500. The world record total is 500.5 for the 84s. So that's ridiculous. Honestly, overall, she's close to being able to just be a multi-weight class world record holder. Uh, that's pretty nuts. Um, so yeah, I think it's a very deserving number two spot, 98.29 GL. 98 point, actually, yeah, 98.42. Sorry about that. I was reading the most recent one where she went up in body weight, 483 dots. As I said, all these top lifters are going to have like a ridiculous dots number. Did it at Worlds. Really impressive.
I don't think we haven't ever seen a sub junior DOT 500 yet, have we?
We have not, I don't think.
Julie was the first one to cross over 100 GL, but that doesn't correlate.
Yeah.
Right,
Uh,
Julie has
I know we haven't
493.
on, yeah, I know we
Right.
haven't on the world stage for sure.
right, for sure not international.
Yeah.
But I don't know about, let's see.
I'm
I'm
sure
pretty sure
Iris
we haven't.
Heiberg will get there sooner or
no,
later.
yeah.
Oh
Or
yeah.
whoever the hell she is. I'm excited to see that video of that whatever ridiculous lifting that is.
Dude, her parents are
Yeah.
gonna get like email that they're like we're talking about her on this podcast.
Well, that's how I got.
An
Wait,
email.
the person who I'm going to mention at number one, the way I got the videos is I asked Ilya, who was on last
Yeah.
podcast, and he messaged this girl's mother and got the video. That's how I got it, literally.
Wow.
She's probably too young to have her own Instagram.
Yeah.
Insane.
15 years old.
Okay, Lily, who do you have at number two?
Okay, I hate going last because I also have Susanna. I feel like we've talked her up so much, I don't even know what to say anymore. She's just amazing. And the fact that she could,
Glaze. Just kidding.
all right, pipe down. But the fact that she can compete in two different weight classes and like still just perform the way that she did is outstanding, honestly. And yeah, we've talked about her so much. There's nothing really left to say.
Yeah, I mean she's amazing. I tried to get her on actually, but then she responded and then never re-responded. So
Oh.
that was a shame. Okay, we are on to number one. Okay. At number one, I'll give you a little perspective. Do you know what the 47 sub junior squat world record is?
It's like 100 or something like that.
The No, the answer is it's 116.
16, there you go.
116. This girl squatted 134.5, 18 and a half kilos over the squat record.
Wow.
The bench record, the bench sub junior world record is 80 kilos. She benched 94, otherwise known as 5 kilos under the open world record bench. The world record total is 320. She totaled 368.5. She just absolutely destroyed every record. Justina Babeva, or something like that. I can't pronounce it correctly. Not to mention, she's 14 years old.
Where's she from?
So, Russia.
Okay.
So, I mean, I came into this list having no clue who this was. I went on to Open IPF. I started creating a list. Then my next step was I went on Open Powerlifting just because I wanted to see, like, sometimes there's USCPL girls, whatever. And so first I checked, like, the teen 18, 19, right? The problem is a lot of those people are not sub junior, right? So you have to check, and I checked, it took them off list. Then I went to the 16 and 17, and I added a bunch of people onto the list, strong lifters. And then before I closed them, I'm like, you know what? Let me just look if there's any like younger girls who are strong. So I click, and I'm like, wait, not only is there somebody on the list, this person has a 103.4 GLP, but not just the highest, by far the highest of the score of any sub junior woman ever, and doing it at 14 years old. I'm like, I just have to put her at number one. Like, I know it's not international, but like these numbers just are like, they're literally unbelievable. Like, it is hard to believe that they're true. Then I
That's
Googled her,
literally
and
insane.
I Googled her and I found articles. Like, there's just articles about, like, I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of strong powerlifters, but there aren't usually articles about them breaking records. But when you Google her, like, there's literally just articles about her. Like, 14-year-old or 13-year-old girl, like 50-year-old, like, breaks whatever bench record. Like, so she's insane. And now that Russia is back on the platform, um, maybe we'll see her this coming year because, like, Russia only has IPF. It's not like there's USPL. So the only question is whether Russia's allowed. So if they're allowed, hopefully we'll get to see her this year. And I don't know. I mean, if she can do this stuff at the world stage, it's just absolutely incredible. And to be honest, like, even if she moves up to the 52s, she'll still be incredible. But like, it's just absolutely nuts. So that's who I have at number one. Eleni, who do you have at number one?
I have Yuli Kostian at number one. We've already talked quite a bit about her, but 3 consecutive world titles is no small feat whatsoever. Also, 3 European titles consecutively, also no small feat. And she's just an incredible lifter. Her progress year to year, she hasn't stopped progressing at like a very good rate. I want to say, even though she moved up a class, I believe she totaled in the 430s in 2023 as a 63. And then just a total 480 just a year later, even though you're up in body weight, it's just insane. It's just insane. So very deserving.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she's one of the best sub juniors ever and well deserving of number one spot. Esperanza, who do you have?
I also have Yui, or Jui, how do you say it?
It's Yuli.
Yuli, I'm so sorry. Uh, but yeah, no, she's ridiculous. Like, she's still, as Elaine said, she's progressed so much, and she's literally still progressing. Like, if you look at her on Instagram, she is just nonstop. Like, it's so impressive, and she's done such a good job. Like, seeing her go into the juniors is gonna be exciting and see what she does.
Okay, Elliot.
I also have Yuli, because everyone said the numbers obviously multiple time world champion, multiple time Euro champion. I just want to read out these records in order. So we have 480, 490, 4.5, 500.5. So that's the 69 record, which is Yuli's, the 76 record, Susanna, and the 84 record, Rebecca. Uh, I'm pretty sure Rebecca was on a few of your guys' lists. Susanna was literally my number two. And Yuli is a weight class below and within 14.5 kilos of her. That's ridiculous. That is insane. Um, especially when she's 67 point. So it's not like she's at the top of the weight class. She's like a decent to 1 point, like a decent kilo under. Like she has room to grow. Like, and she just came up into the weight class, like Eleni just mentioned. So definitely room to grow there. Um, I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. I don't really have I don't really have anything else to say. Um, Crazy numbers when we're talking about a lifter who is coming from not only a weight class below, but like two weight classes below. And not just, and these aren't like just nobodies, right? Like these are like coming from weight classes below against like some pretty crazy number, like Susanna, like second on the list, right? Like coming from a weight class below her and only being like 14 kilo off. That's pretty nuts. So definitely deserving of the number one spot in my opinion.
Okay, and Lily.
All right. I'm sure we could all guess who I have. It's also Yuli. Or going last is so hard because like yeah, because everyone literally talked her up so much. There's nothing left to say just besides the fact that she's has like 9 international titles. I just looked on her Instagram and that's
9? I didn't know
yeah.
it was that many.
Wait, I'm actually gonna tell you right now.
Is 9
Wait,
what?
actually there's 5 world and 6 European.
Wait, what?
Holy
Wow.
fuck.
So
Huh?
I
Did I
I
hear that
genuinely
right? Did
cannot.
you say 5 world European?
Yes.
That
And she is
oh,
18 years old.
that is crazy.
Mike is like,
I don't
should have put her at 1. I'm
yeah,
just kidding. Just kidding.
but she's gonna fit right into the juniors, honestly. Like I don't see anyone in the sub juniors like coming close to her except for maybe Desiree. I'm not even sure,
I
honestly.
mean, what even do the juniors six? I mean, like
530s, 520s, 530s.
Yeah, I think. Well, what is Carolyn
oh,
total?
She's in the 520s for sure.
actually, junior
Yeah,
69.
Carolyn.
Okay, yeah, I forgot
But
the junior
also
69s is Agatha Sitka, so that kind of sucks. But
true, but also
She's
she has
76.
so many years to like
right,
Yeah.
exactly,
get up
yeah,
there. And she's so consistent. Like every single meet, her numbers like go up a little bit. And if
yeah,
you
like a
get her
solid,
4 years from now, I don't know where she's gonna be.
And I don't think
So
Agatha's gonna like be
go
60.
back,
I mean,
yeah,
like she's
ever
not.
yeah,
again.
I think
That was the
she's
Sheffield
done with
moment.
that.
And then like it
Mhm.
wasn't like an Evie Corrigan, like we stay at 52 type vibe.
I honestly think Agatha, so she's gonna do Sheffield 69 and she's gonna break the world
This
record
one,
again.
yeah,
I think that junior world record in 69 will
is gonna
probably not be broken for like 20 years. I think that will become the longest standing record ever. Like,
it's ridiculous.
meaning
Bench
she's,
for sure, yeah.
Honestly,
I'm
yes.
talking about total. I think bench has a bigger chance of somebody getting, like somebody with crazy leverages breaking it. I think the total, the 69 junior total record just won't get broken. Like, we're talking right now, the 69 juniors are crazy strong, but they're miles away. Like, I just don't see it getting broken. Like, you look at records, and I was actually telling this to Elliot the other day, which is like, I was saying that his sub junior squat record is like one of the records that will be one of the longest standing records like ever. And I think the same thing with Agatha and the 69s. It's just every time like a record gets shattered, it's like, wow, that's crazy. But sometimes you kind of see how like it could get broken, right? Like all these records. Like I remember when like Jod and Joy Namani became like the first 57 to total 500, and that was crazy. But now like we have like 3 or 4 more people doing it, and like people close to 480s, 490s. But like this, I don't know. Like I don't know. People use like Amanda Lawrence used to be like the only non-super heavyweight to do 600. Now we're talking like mid 600s at 69 and a junior.
Well, and like not only that, right? Like if we're looking at the total junior records too, like 69, 76, 84,
Yeah.
and like she didn't have 84 plus, but her 84 record is higher than the 84 plus. And like I'm like I don't even know what to say about that. That's that's
Like
ridiculous.
I think it's just funny how when you look at the junior records, like you see all these different names and you get to 69, 76, 84. It's all Agatha Sitka.
Oh, Agatha.
Literally.
Every single one. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's how I'm trying to be.
That's how I'm trying to be.
That's how I'm trying to be.
My take is I want to wait till Sheffield's over before I officially say it. Because once Sheffield's over, then I'll say it. She's the GOAT. straight up, she is the greatest lifter. I mean, she just rewrote the record book. The juniors, she destroyed. The open, she destroyed. 69, 76, 84, every weight class, bench, deadlift, total, like equipped off. Like, I just think like we're like witnessing somebody that's like, I don't know, this, it's like our generation's like John Hacks or like our generation's Ed Cohn, literally. Like, that's what it is. Like,
Couldn't
it's
agree
just,
more.
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
I am
she.
not refuting that claim.
So yeah, so it's actually interesting. So now we finished our actual rankings, and you guys all had Yuli, I guess that's how you pronounce it. So I pronounced it wrong. At number one, and I would have. So we all agreed like she was just like phenomenal. I obviously had that one secret person for my number one, but I would just say let's go around then. If anybody has any like either honorable mentions they want to mention or any like lifters like to like look for like that wasn't on this list, like somebody for that like might break out in 2025, like whatever, anything you could have a breakout lifter, honorable mention, anything you want, just like a short whatever. um Lily, you could
I
go first
have
this time.
one. Yeah, yes, let's go. But there's one girl who I'm friends with who is USAPL that like I need her to switch. Like, but I don't think she can because she goes to Midland. Do you
Who?
guys know Maddie Rock?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. She's really
Well,
strong.
Maddie Rock,
She
I'm not familiar. What weight
she
class is she?
weighs 60. She dots 495 as a 19-year-old.
Okay.
She's yeah.
She's a
And
junior.
yes, first year and she would be first year junior, but
What the
she
fuck?
I need to look at her Instagram, but she like I think she just hit a squat PR that was like over 170.
I think it was
Correct?
175.
Yeah, it was 175 as a light 60 kg. And I need her to switch because I feel like that would be very, very interesting. And I think every person in USAPL needs to watch out for her.
Okay, that's a good person to watch out. Elliot, do you have anybody?
I do. I need to look up some more numbers from them to give like an accurate depiction. So if anyone wants to go first for the shout outs, you can go ahead.
Okay, Aslanza, go.
Okay, so I don't know her exact numbers, but I actually met her. Her name's Harriet Cole. She's from Great Britain. She's a 76 sub junior. I think she has another year or two. I think she has one more year. Um, but her deadlift, like I honestly think that she'll probably break the world record for the sub juniors next year. For the 76s, I think she'll pull over well over 200. She's tripling like 180, 185s like nothing, and she's so strong and she's literally progressing so much. Like I think her total at Worlds and then compared to Euros, like I think she totaled like a good like 10 or 15 kilos above it just within that short period of time. So she's like always progressing, and I think she's going to be really good next year.
Okay, that's a good one.
Wait,
Eleni.
I looked it up. Sorry, I looked it up. Maddie's dots is 508.
Oh wow.
No.
Not yeah, not
Oh
not
my gosh.
495.
Oh my God. So I don't have anyone I have someone that I want to mention, but she's not anybody that's totaling 480 or sorry, getting 485 dots, 500 dots, but she's '09 and she's a 52. Her name's Maddie Harper. She's Australian and she went to Worlds this year and she's benching like over 80 as a 52 who's like 14, 15 years old, and that's insane to me. I mean, obviously we have that one girl that's benching 95, but I think she gets an honorable mention because I can see her. She's a light 52 as well, weighs like 49, 50. So I think there's some good room for growth there. Having 3 more years as a sub junior, like that's insane. So a lot of room to grow. I want to say she pulls like 140, 145 too. So very strong.
Okay. Elliot,
Ready. I'm
go.
ready. So I have Natanya Rasau. I think that's how you pronounce their last name. Good friend of mine. Doesn't have the greatest track record of meets right now. Still pulled 177.5 in a meet at 60 kilo. So pretty nuts. And she's 16 years old, by the way.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so very impressive puller. Uh, the main thing that makes me shout them out is that they had a bad coach, very injury riddled. like could not squat, deadlift, or bench like pain free without like hours of prehab and warm up work. Like it was that bad for like years of training. But I actually recommended them Vin, your coach. And recently the training's been blowing up, so I'm very
Wait,
excited.
what's the name?
Natanya, so Nate, they go by Nate.
I need to do some research.
Uh, the Instagram is out of sweet potato.
Oh,
Yeah.
Finn has been raving about her. Yes,
hmm
I know her as her user.
Very, very good athlete. Listens, works hard. Has been making huge improvements. Is now actually able to lift pain free. And when I first met them, like putting up some pretty crazy numbers. So the fact that now they're able to like be pain free and injury free for the first time in a while, and now like instantly making progression, I think is going to be a big deal. Like I see definitely over a 200 kilo pool, um, which would beat beat Anna Bardova's record, which is an insane record, obviously, standing since 2021. Um, like very talented lifter, so I'm looking forward to them coming to the IPF.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to mention, we've mentioned her name a couple times, Anna Bardova, but she's now into the juniors, like early junior, and like I think people should watch out for her because she's just absolutely nuts. But in terms of the sub junior, there's a New Zealand lifter, 63 kilos. I think she's like 15 or 16. Her name is I don't know how to pronounce it, Chadel Bascara, and she's insanely strong lifter. Um, Good squat, very good deadlift. I think this is her first year internationally, but she's been strong, and I would definitely say with a couple more years as a sub junior, she's definitely someone to watch out for in 2025 and going forward.
I think she broke there. I mean, the squat world record, or maybe she did. Somebody failed it on the platform, but the fact that she could even attempt it, if she did attempt it, or maybe she broke it. But I know that like three or four people at least attempted it on the platform at Worlds. And I know that she was one of
Yeah,
them.
she did.
So that's like already insane.
Yeah. So that was my shout out. I guess before we wrap up, what we've done on these other podcasts is each of you give like could be 1 minute, 2 minutes, like what like talk to the viewers. Any like the viewers that are more similar to you, like it could be like sub juniors, we could be talking about like teenagers, it could be like it could even be older, it could be like juniors, 18, 19, 20, or like younger 15, 16 year olds that are watching this and either are people that like were on this list or probably much more like people who want to be on this list, people that are like at the local level now and are trying to take the step to nationals or take the step from national to international. So give some words of advice or whatever to everyone watching. So let's start with you, Eleni.
Um, so as I've mentioned before, having had 2 years in the IPF now, I would say the biggest mistake that I made my first year over prep was it's obviously easier said than done, but obsessing over others compared to yourself, because just the reality is whatever anybody else is doing is gonna have no impact on you unless you let it have an impact on you. Chloe Tang, who beat me in 2023, she had a private Instagram, so I didn't have access to any of her training, and our totals were really close together on the nominations. So it kind of literally drove me insane, just like constantly thinking about her as a lifter and what she was doing. And I was so obsessed, like, okay, I'm doing this, but she's probably doing this much more. And it's again, obviously very easier said than done, but just having a good coach and good support system is something that you need to have in order to be able to like fight that mental toughness and really get a grip on who you are as a lifter individually. And then on the flip side, also not getting too comfortable, because as someone who was obviously humbled by Chloe Tang's existence, I think another issue is that before I found out who she was, I was way too comfortable. And like my ego was like a little bit too big because I was like, I don't know who Chloe Tang is. It was like her second meet when she had nationals. And I had been told by people on the internet, I didn't have a coach until World Prep in 2023. So I didn't have a coach to tell me like, hey, Lenny, you're not the best. But like people at my school, people like that I was friends with kind of just thought of me as the best. And I kind of fed into that. And I was like, okay, I can kind of take my foot off the gas. I don't have to worry about anybody else. And so it was just kind of a huge reality check when Chloe came in and was a really, really fierce competitor. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, that was a good one. Let's move on to let's go Lily.
Okay, so when I first started powerlifting, I was probably like the most emotional lifter that you would ever meet. Like if something were to go wrong, immediate just crying. Go to the bathroom, cry. At my first nationals, went to the bathroom, cried because it didn't go like my way. And after that nationals, I kind of like took a step back and I'm kind of like, why am I like this? Like why am I letting this get to me so much? And that was definitely like impacting my performance in so many ways. Like to the point where I like associated going for a PR with being disappointed. And so now what I try to do is like when I get to a meet, I know that I'm putting my best foot forward and that I'm just going to go out there and do whatever I can. I'm going to replicate my training. I'm just going to go out there. Emotions aside, obviously emotions are good to have when you're doing anything, but emotions aside and just lift whatever I can. Just do whatever I can and just be the best version of myself that I can be. And also like Eleni said, I used to compare myself to so many people. Like I would like ferociously like stalk everyone's Instagram before a meet. And I realized after that, I was like, this is doing absolutely nothing for me and my mental health. And I'm just not putting my best foot forward in this regard. So overall, just being less of an emotional lifter and being more of like, I'm just going to be the best version of myself today.
Okay, good advice. Esperanza, what would you say?
I would honestly, obviously being consistent, realistically just showing up every day, whether you want to or you don't want to. Taking care of yourself, so really just getting all your variables in check, whether that be tracking your food, your steps, your sleep, your training, whatever it is, getting your variables in check. Because if you really like want it, if you want to go after it, you have to go after it. It's not going to be given to you, and that's something that I learned along this process. Everyone talks, Ellie and I talked about, you know, fixating on competition and your other competitors, and going through that process myself, I would definitely say, coming into this world prep with, a chip on my shoulder from nationals. So being humble and like keeping your head down and realistically always just heading straight towards the goal, but enjoying the process in the meantime. If you want to be the best, you have to do what you have to do to be the best. It's not given to you. Nobody's gonna do the work for you. Nobody's gonna, make your meals for you, track your food for you. Nobody's gonna go in the gym and lift the weight for you. You have to do that yourself. So you need to take accountability and you have to, if you want it, you have to go get it and you have to earn it. It's not going to be given. That's the biggest thing. So that's what I would say.
That was really good. Elliot, finish us off.
Yeah, I've already given my own sort of message, so I think I'm in like other ones. So I'll pretty much just double down on what people here said. I used to be a very emotional lifter. I remember before this New York Ataraxics meet I did at like 16 years old. It was my last deadlift of the prep. Um, and I failed it, and I sat in the bathroom and I cried for hours. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep on the floor. I was so upset. I was so upset. Um, the reality is though, no matter how upset you get about your lifting, no matter how excited you get about your lifting, no matter what your emotions are towards your lifting, if you're not putting in the work, it's not gonna matter. No matter what anyone else is doing, no matter like what you want to happen, if you don't take the steps to make those goals happen, it won't come. And even if you do take those steps, sometimes shit goes wrong, right? Sometimes things don't go as planned. And you can either cry about it and be upset, and obviously there is a room to be upset. And you can take that time, but you can't dwell on it, right? You have to also be able to have the, I guess, introspective to look at what you did and say, how can I improve? How can I take this next step and step up my game? What didn't I do? What did I do that maybe I did wrong? Um, and obviously it's fun to compete against other people, but at the end of the day, um, no matter how much you look at your opponent's Instagram, it's not going to change what numbers you put up on the platform. Like I don't think doing this is very conductive for upping your squat, bench, and deadlift, right? So obviously, be competitive. It's a competition sport, right? Have fun, but also just focus on doing what you can do to control your numbers and not over fixating on what other people are doing. If you put in the work, then if you're meant to beat them, you'll beat them. If the numbers aren't there yet, they're not there yet. Doesn't mean they won't ever be. You never know, and it's a long term sport. You got, I mean, people like Sam Watt, who is like what, like 54, like putting up like ridiculous numbers. You have Jen Thompson, who, I mean, I'm sure everyone that watches this podcast or has any clue what powerlifting is, knows who she is. Like school teacher PRing her bench for years. Um, at a world record level. So like just focus on putting in that work, and when the time comes, the time comes.
Well said. Yeah. So I have nothing more to add. I mean, just work hard and we'll see results. I mean, not everyone's going to be a world champion. It's not going to happen. But if you put the work in, then who knows? It might just be you. So I just like to thank you guys all for coming on the podcast. You guys did a great job. It was a lot of fun. And for anybody still watching this, thank you for watching. And yeah, I hope you liked the video and let us know what you think in the comments when it's later posted on Instagram. So thank you very much.